I think people are absolutely deceived on how much algorithms run our life, and they are just so important to the structure of how things actually work. And yet, virtually nobody knows this. And it's only every once in a while that there is just like this little squeak that gets out, that gets in the public of like how influential these things are. And then people get really, really upset. I've been trying to build a Reciprocity Project, which is a platform that I started out well before AI was even talked about to help us write better, to help us get feedback, to deal with the day to day kind of awful feelings that you go through as a researcher. And I still get all of the time, despite the fact I've been doing this for 9 years, every single day, trying to put out more and more information, trying to connect with more people. I still get every day is like, what is that? And the reason why, like, so part of me is just like, oh, I'm just like totally defeated when I hear that. Um, but I also have to stop and reflect. Okay, so well-intentioned individuals, either they're really well and either they're deceptive and all that kind of stuff. But on the other side, there is this other plausible explanation that I think is actually a lot bigger of the explanation is that algorithms run our lives and we don't even know this. And it's only once you start interacting with it that you start to discover just how algorithmic the world actually is. And you start pushing back and you're like, so to give you a perfect example of this, I might post something, for example, on any number, and I'm not just talking about social media, right? Like this is all walks for our lives. This is just an example. I post something on Facebook, and my own wife doesn't even get it because it doesn't resonate with what she's interested in. She's interested in, puppies and being a mom and all that kind of stuff. And so she would never get that information. It just doesn't even show up in terms of what she's doing. I, um, my wife will try to contact me. I won't even get the notification on my texts, even though that she's trying to contact me. And I'll have to like look at it after, and I realize, oh, she like texted me or she tried to contact me. Um, there's all these things that we forget about that are essential to how things actually happen, from regulations to electrical grids to how you move to and from work, um, to even your family, like in terms of education and entertainment in your family. Algorithms dictate our lives. And it's a scary thought that lots of people don't want to hear, but it is extraordinarily true if you start looking at all of your lives and what you actually do and what you accomplish. You realize like, oh, everything in my life is determined by an algorithm of some sort of computer algorithm someplace. And despite the fact that you may not like that, that's just the nature of what it means to live today. That you are being dictated by a numeric code that tells us what to do, where to go, all of those kind of things. And it's fascinating once you start looking at it and how important it actually is in our lives. So before you start getting really upset about things, and that's where yeah, part of me is like, oh my gosh, 9 years of doing this all the time. I think the only person that understands how much work I put into this is my mom. um, Everybody else doesn't understand because they just don't see it. They're not part of it. And so I get one part of me is just really upset, right? Like I am putting in all this work and there is nothing to show for it. But on the other side of it, I have to realize that the algorithms play an extraordinarily important part of our life. And if you don't recognize that, you're going to get upset, you're going to quit, you're going to go through all these kind of moments of despair. So before that happens, realize you're just another number. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.